What's up, YouTube? Ryan back today with some more baseball content. Today, I'm bringing you my 10 favorite picks from the first round in the 2022 Major League Draft. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. That's what we're doing today, breaking down my 10 favorite picks from yesterday's first round. I'll be honest, it's a loaded draft. It is a really strong draft class and a lot of really strong high school players. So super excited to get into this. It was actually very difficult to make a top 10, but I do think there is a couple in here that might throw a couple people off. Super excited to get into it here. It's really just based on who I think is going to have the best MLB career, so we're going to jump into it pretty quick here. As always, if you guys like this video, please get a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think of the video today. I know these videos are all opinions, so if you have a different opinion than me, just post it down below. Let me know what you think. Let's do it. Let's jump into player number 1. All right, first player up, Gavin Cross out of Virginia Tech. He was drafted by the Kansas City Royals. Absolutely love his swing. I think he has a really simple swing, good bat path, and, you know, he was a finalist for the Golden Spikes Award this year. All right, we're going to have to jump around with our face cam a little bit today to make this work. But Gavin Cross, he was originally ranked 10th overall in the draft, and he actually ended up going number 9th to the Royals. So 21 years old, 6'3", 210, big kid. Just crushed it at Virginia Tech this year. Hit .330 with a .411 on base percentage, 1071 OPS, 17 home runs. I just think he's a good talent, and I love his swing. I think it's going to translate very well to wood bat. So that's why I have him at number 10. I think he's a good player, very well-rounded player, and I think he's going to be a good offensive piece for that Royals team. Next up is going to be Brooks Lee. He went 8th overall to the Minnesota Twins. Definitely the best switch hitter in the draft this year. Very good bat-to-ball skills. All right, Brooks Lee, 21 years old, out of Cal Poly. It was a smaller school, so you got to kind of take that into concern a little bit. But players like Colton Cowser, similar last year, just absolutely crushing it this year. So maybe not. Maybe it's not a big deal. But 6'2", 205, big kid. Scouts say might have the best bat-to-ball skills in the entire draft. Lee last year at Cal Poly over 58 games, hit .357 with a .462 on base percentage, 1125 OPS, and 15 home runs in 58 games. As a switch hitter, as a shortstop, sign me up for that. That is a freak of nature right there at shortstop. Absolutely love it. Next up, Kumar Rocker, and I think the Mets got to be a little salty this year because they drafted him last year deeper into the first round, and he goes 3rd overall to the Texas Rangers. All right, Kumar Rocker, 22 years old, 6'5", 245, absolute freak. Absolutely dominated at Vanderbilt. Had 179 strikeouts back in 2021 for Vanderbilt. Just an unbelievable talent. Definitely deserves to be wherever he wants to be right now. As a freshman in, I think it was like the regionals or super regionals, I can't remember, 19 strikeout no-hitter. Like, the talent is there. Cannot believe that, you know, he did not get signed last year from the Mets because of an arm issue. He ended up going to independent ball, actually. He didn't want to go back to college, which, I mean, I can't blame him. Went to independent ball, topped out at 99. Like, sign me up for Kumar Rocker. He's always been good. He's going to keep being good. All right, this might be a shocker here, and I'm not even being biased. Ivan Melendez. Yeah, I don't think there's much to say. Just watch some of the home runs he has hit. Ivan Melendez. Again, I don't know how he actually fell to the second round. I am shocked. He won the Golden Spikes Award. Over 67 games last year at Texas. He hit .387 with a .508 on base percentage and a .1371 OPS. He had 32 home runs, led the nation again, won the Golden Spikes Award. They voted him the best college player in the country last year. So I don't know how he went second round and how other college guys are drafted above him. I just don't get it. Seems like a super special offensive talent. And he went to my D-backs. I don't know how we got this lucky to get him. I am so excited to have Ivan Melendez in this farm system. Unbelievable pick. At number 6 on my list, I have Tamar Johnson. This might surprise a few people. A lot of people had Johnson inside their top 3. I have him just outside my top 5. Tamar Johnson, you know, absolute freak. Just about every single scout has him graded as the best pure hitter in the draft. I just don't like his swing that much. Again, I'm not a scout. I'm not an analyst to any level, but I do think there's a lot of movement in his hands. If he can slow that down, be a little more consistent with his swing, his bat path, because from the highlights I saw, it was kind of inconsistent, similar to like Brady House last year. And Brady House has struggled this year. And I predicted that, so I don't want to say I'm predicting Tamar Johnson to struggle, but I could see him struggling a little bit at the pro level when he faces better pitching every single day until he fine-tunes his swing. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. 18 years old, 5'10", 175. I'm sad because he was an Arizona State commit. But that's how ASU is these days. They just recruit the players that are going to get drafted, and they end up with 3 stars, and they're not that good right now. So, Tamar Johnson, I think he's good talent. Obviously, in my top 10. I still think he's great, but I do think he has a little fine-tuning to do. I don't have him inside my top 5. Next up, brother of Josh Young, Joshy Young, out of Texas Tech. Oh, my goodness. Is this kid good, and can that family just straight up hit? I actually have him inside my top 5. I had him at number 9 on the draft tracker, but I love what Young has done this year at Texas Tech. And not just this year, but his whole career at Texas Tech. He's had over 1,000 OPS every single year. I will say last year he was better than he was this year, but still unbelievable. Just freak of nature. And if it shows what his brother's done coming out of Texas Tech and getting drafted in the first round, I think there's a chance that Jose does the exact same thing. Cannot wait to watch him play. All right, at number 4, Cam Collier. And this might surprise a couple people. He was super high ranked, but he did fall in the draft all the way down to, which number was it? He fell to number 18 with the Cincinnati Reds. Man, I love his swing. It's very short, not a lot going on, and a lot of power to be provided. Cam Collier, he's only 17 years old. All right, this is what I like the most about him. He's 17 years old, did a similar thing as Bryce Harper. In what would have been his junior year of high school, he actually graduated, got his GED, and went to junior college. At junior college, he hit .333 with a .419 on base percentage and 8 home runs. So he has already stepped up to that next college level. And as someone that has played junior college, it is the next level. So showing that he can play at that next level, impressive. Very impressive, and I love that he's only 17. So he's going to be the youngest player in this first round, and he's already seen a level that others haven't. Honestly, I almost put him higher than 4. I love him so much. I love his swing. I just think, he has a lot to bring to the table, and he's only 17. So love Cam Collier. I think the Reds got the steal of the first round. Next up, Elijah Green, and there's not much to say about Elijah Green. This dude's ceiling might be the highest in the entire draft, and that was hit with a wood bat. Elijah Green is 18, 6'3", 225. He's an absolute moose on the field. He's gigantic, has the most power in the draft, but he does have a little bit of a swing and miss issues, so that is the only concern I have of him. If he didn't have swing and miss issues and had some strikeout problems at the high school level, he would be my number 1 player on this list because his ceiling is ridiculous. He's super athletic and has the most power and a very short swing. So honestly, I'm surprised that he strikes out as much as he does. I think it might just be an approach thing that maybe he can fine tune at the pro level, but I love his swing. I think it's perfect for the pro level, and man, I cannot wait to watch Elijah Green. I think the Nats got a steal at number 5. All right, number 2 and number 1 are going to be pretty boring. Jackson Holliday's number 2 for me. Really good hitter, really good talent at shortstop. Doesn't have a lot of holes in his swing. Hit .685 as a senior in high school. He had 89 hits his senior year in high school. What? Broke the national record. Like, literally the most hits ever by a high school player. Jackson Holliday, obviously, he is Matt Holliday's son. Comes from, the roots of the MLB. Matt Holliday, I looked it up yesterday, .299 hitter in the MLB with over 300 home runs. Obviously, a fantastic hitter. He's probably like a top 10, top 15 hitter we've seen in the last 20 years, Matt Holliday. And this is his kid. And obviously, the apple don't fall far from the tree. Hit .685. Absolutely love everything about him. Super athletic, too. Just the grades across the board are phenomenal. The only concern I have for Jackson Holliday, and it's going to be the same for Drew Jones, is that they went to small high schools. Did not play against the best high school talent. So that .685 definitely was elevated to, probably not seeing the best pitching. So still think he's a great hitter. Still think he's a great talent. I have him number 2 on my list, but we'll see. I still think he's a real deal. I love everything about his game, and I love that his dad is Matt Holliday. And the number 1 player on my list is Drew Jones, and somehow he fell to my Diamondbacks. I don't know how he didn't get drafted number 1 overall. He is just a special, special talent. Son of Andrew Jones, who was just a freak in the MLB. Drew Jones, 6'4", 180. He's only 18 years old. I am so excited that the D-backs drafted Drew Jones. Does everything so well. His grades are amazing. His 55 hit grade, I am curious as to why it's at 55. I think maybe it's just because, similar to Jackson Holliday, just wasn't against the best talent in high school. Did play at a smaller school. but just everything else is ridiculous. Hits a ton of home runs, hits for a ton of power, super fast, plays really good defense. Man, I cannot wait for Drew Jones. I was excited for Jordan Lawler last year. I think I'm more excited for Drew Jones this year. Probably just because his dad is Andrew Jones, and if you watch Andrew Jones in his prime, probably like a top 5 player in the MLB, if not like a top 3. Oh my goodness. And Drew Jones has got a better build than him. So we'll see. Obviously, Jackson Holliday and Drew Jones are phenomenal. And I will say this, both of them don't even look like they've started shaving yet, barely. They have so much more to grow. Like, both their dads were these specimens. Just, I cannot wait to see both Jackson Holliday and Drew Jones grow into their bodies. It's going to be so exciting. But I do have Drew Jones at number 1 on my list. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for my top 10 favorite picks out of the 22 MLB draft. I did say I was going to talk about one player, and that player is Brooks Porter. He just got drafted in the 4th round. I originally had him on this list at number 10. But it sounds like he's pushing or going to Clemson a little bit hard right now, and people are passing on him. He was originally ranked 11th overall in this draft, and I absolutely love him. Throws 100 miles an hour out of high school, big frame, 6'4". I don't know why he didn't get drafted to the 4th round, other than he must be being really greedy with what he wants to get and just kind of wanting to go to Clemson, because I don't know. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. I cannot believe he was not drafted. I was literally shocked this morning when I was going through the draft. I was like, what? He didn't get drafted? So that is an honorable mention. I absolutely love him as a talent. I hope he goes to the Texas Rangers out of the 4th round draft, because I just want to see him pitch in the pros. Don't go waste your time in college. There's too much risk with that. So, yeah, that's the one player I did want to mention that was on this list originally, but just wasn't drafted to the 4th round. So I'm not sure he's going to sign or not. So that's why I excluded him. But other than that, yeah, that's the list. I am just amazed as a Diamondbacks fan that we got Drew Jones and Ivan Melendez. I cannot believe that. I will say right now, the D-backs, they have the best farm system in the MLB, and I don't even think it's close anymore, to be honest. It is so stacked, it is ridiculous. So, as a D-backs fan, I know they can definitely mess this up. I just hope they don't. So, we'll see. But yeah, that is my top 10 draft picks out of the 22 draft. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought. Anyone I should have included, someone maybe I should have taken out. I know a lot of people don't like Kumar Rocker for whatever reason, but I think he's a stud. So, that's the one I think might cause some controversy. But yeah, that's going to do it, everyone. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day. See ya!